Sairam students, welcome to another lecture of English literature. Today we are going to continue with the poem A Legend of the Northland. In the previous lecture, we went through the introduction for this poem. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad. A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas. Each stanza comprises of 4 lines, and these stanzas will tell us a story, a traditional story. And ballads are also part of folk culture, or you can say popular culture, and are passed on orally from one generation to another. In the earlier stanzas, we learnt about the background that in a region around the North Pole, the duration of the days are very less as compared to the nights. And people there, how do they live? They harness the sledges. It is a snowy area. The reindeer is an animal which is found in this region. And the poet adds that the children here, they look like young ones of a bear because they wear funny looking clothes which is made of fur. Also, we learnt about that there is parents, elders, they refer to stories. They refer to the younger generation about interesting stories. And the poet says that he doesn't believe that whether the stories are true or they are just to teach learn a lesson from it. So the stories that they narrate give an important message. Now let's begin. He came to the door of a cottage in travelling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Hearth is a fireplace where you do cooking. Now here, when Saint Peter was moving around the earth, when he was moving around the world, giving religious lectures to all the people on this earth, he reached the door of a cottage where a small woman, a little woman, was making cakes. She was baking cakes in the fireplace. So what happened next? And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. So faint here refers to be weak. Maybe he didn't eat for many days. Hence, he was feeling weak, famished. Okay, so as Saint Peter was traveling all around the world, preaching religious teachings to people, he had not eaten anything the entire day. He was very hungry and was feeling weak. So, he went to this woman who was baking cakes in the fireplace. And what did he do? He asked for one cake from her store of cakes. He asked for just one cake out of the many cakes that she baked. So what did she reply? So she made a very little cake. But as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. So the woman, how was she? She was selfish. She did not give the cake from her store, the existing cakes. She didn't give a single piece out of the existing cakes from her store. Instead, she started making a very small cake for Saint Peter. She did not want to share her things. Hence, she is called as selfish over here. But when she put the cake for baking, what did she do? She looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to be given to someone. Okay, so already she had already baked many, she had made many cakes and she had kept it on the store. But she didn't want to part with them. So she baked another cake which seemed to be too big to be given to someone. Therefore, she kneaded another and still a smaller one. But it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. Kneaded, to make a dough from flour. So before baking, you need to prepare a dough. So what happened here? The little miser, the lady, the little miser woman thought that the cake was too big to be given away. So she started making another cake which was much smaller in size than the earlier one. When she looked at that cake, what did she feel? She again felt that it was as big as the earlier one, as the previous one. So again, she was not ready to give this smaller cake to Saint Peter. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer. But she couldn't part with that. Scrap refers to a very small amount. So here she took a tiny scrap of dough, which means she took a very small amount of dough to prepare the next cake. So this was the third time. She took a very small amount of dough and rolled it. The poet says that she rolled and rolled to lay emphasis on the fact that she rolled the dough and made it very thin, just like a wafer, and baked it. But she was so greedy that she couldn't give that thin piece of bread to the saint. Okay, so even after after baking a cake for the third time, which was almost thin like a wafer, she didn't feel like parting with that piece as well. For she said, "My cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away." So she put them on the shelf. So what did she think? The woman reasoned that when she herself eats the cakes that she had baked, she felt that they were very small. But if she had to give them to someone, she felt that they were too big to be given away. She put all the cakes on the shelf of her kitchen and she did not give any cake to this Saint Peter. Right? So what did she do? She said, she reasoned that though her cake, they seemed too small. When she ate the cake, she felt that they were very small. But when it's time to give it to someone, what she feels? They were too big to be given away. So what did she do? She put all the cakes that she had baked on the shelf of the kitchen once again. And she did not give any cake to Saint Peter. So this also shows that how selfish the lady was. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Provoke? Cause to get angry. She gave him a reason to get angry on her. Now here Saint Peter, he became very angry. He was very hungry since he was traveling around the world, teaching people, giving religious talks. He was feeling very weak. He was famished. And this selfish woman, she was not ready to give him even a small cake. So this made Saint Peter very angry. This behavior of the greedy woman angered the saint. And he said, "You are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm." Dwell refers to live. Okay, to live in a human form. Now here, what happened? Saint Peter, he cursed the woman. What did he say? He said that she was very selfish. She did not deserve to live like a human being. Also, he added that God had given her food, shelter, fire to keep herself warm. But then she had become so selfish. Okay, see, all these resources are there with her. And after having all this comfort in life, she has turned out to be a selfish woman. So what Saint Peter believed, that she had become so selfish to all these resources, that she doesn't want to part anything. She doesn't want to give anything to anybody. So she does not want to share things with others. So according to Saint Peter, she seems to be a very selfish lady. Now, you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard, dry wood. So here, what do you mean by scanty? Scanty refers to very little. Boring refers to making a hole in something. Like you might have seen the woodpecker, how it bores a hole in the wood. Something like this. Okay, now you shall build as the birds do and shall get your scanty food. Now Saint Peter, what did he do? He cursed the woman. That henceforth, she would become a bird because she does not deserve a human form. Though she has got all the comforts in life, since she has become a selfish lady, she doesn't deserve all the comforts of human life. She shall become a bird, and just like birds, what they do, just like birds build their houses by boring into the wood and collect very little food by working hard the entire day. Similarly, she would also work hard in the dry wood all day and get very little food and make a small place for herself to live in. Okay, so he cursed her and said that she will become a bird who will have to work hard just like the other birds in the woods, and she has to get very little wood. She herself has to work hard to get that little food and make a small place for herself so that she can live in. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. So now here, as soon as Saint Peter got angry, as soon as he cursed the lady, what happened? She did not even get a chance to explain herself. She didn't get a chance even to speak for herself. And this was mainly because that very moment she changed into a bird and flew away, flew up to the roof through the chimney, and she flew out in the form of a woodpecker. So Saint Peter's curse had converted the woman into a bird, and this happened instantly. As soon as he cursed, the greedy lady turned into a bird and she flew up to the roof through the chimney. And how she flew out? She flew out in the form of a bird. Now, she had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned, black as a coal in the flame. Scarlet cap, that means the cap was of a bright red color. Scarlet refers to a brilliant red color. So when the woman, she was turned into a bird at that very moment, at that time, she was wearing a brilliant red colored cap. Okay, this cap was there on the bird's head also. But what about her clothes? All her clothes, the woman's remaining clothes, had burned and turned black in color just like a coal. Right? So she got the punishment immediately. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Country refers to the countryside. The rural areas are referred to as countryside. Now, what people do? People who live in the countryside, even the small children who go to school, schoolboys are referred here, children who go to school, they have seen this kind of bird in the woods. That, they see that this bird, she stays there all day and keeps on digging the wood with her beak so that she could collect her food. So she is working hard to collect her wood, and this has been seen by many school going children in the countryside. Whenever any child sees this kind of bird, then his elder tells him this story. They say that the bird used to be a woman earlier. So they narrate this particular story, which we are learning now, which we are listening now. She was very greedy, and so she was cursed by Saint Peter and turned into a bird. they get a teaching that they should not be greedy. So this poem, it teaches us, it helps us understand one thing, that the as human beings, we should have positive qualities like affection, love, fellow feeling, sympathy, generosity. So because of this, what happens? We can live a happy life. Alright. The poet also brings forth an idea that people with negative, inhuman values like selfishness, greediness, and cruelty will ultimately be punished. Okay, just like the lady in this poem, she got punished for her greediness and selfish behavior towards Saint Peter. Okay, so what we have to do? We as human beings should develop positive qualities and not the negative ones. Now, moving towards rhyme scheme, the poem is in the form of a ballad with 4-line stanzas. Each stanza follows the pattern of the rhyme scheme A, B, C, D. So if we see here in the poem, and every country schoolboy, for rhyme scheme we need to check the last word here. Boy, A, would, B, day, C, and food will be B. Okay, so A, B, C, B. Similarly, if you see the earlier stanzas also, chimney, A, word, B, woodpecker, C, and bird will be B. Okay, so this is the rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. The next is literary devices. Alliteration. We have come across alliteration in the poem, the repetition of vowel sounds and of consonant sounds. The poet repeats sounds with the purpose of making a poem lyrical. The examples: in their funny furry clothes. If you notice here, the sound of F has been repeated. If I tell the tale to you. Here the poet repeats the sound of T. And being faint with fasting, the sound of F is repeated in this line. The next literary device used in the poem is repetition. That is multiple uses of the same word. And rolled it flat. So which word is repeated here? Rolled and rolled. Boring and boring for food. By boring and boring and boring. So the same word is repeated. Simile. Comparing two distinct words using the word as. Black as coal in the flame. Baked it thin as a wafer. So here there is a comparison between two things by using the word as. Children look like bear's cub. Here the comparison is done by using the word like. There is a direct comparison. Hence, simile. Enchantment. It is a literary device which refers to the practice of running lines from one to the next. There is a continuation without using any kind of punctuation marks to indicate a pause. Okay, there is no full stop or comma. So it is a continuation of running lines. We can see the example. And the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Okay, we can see that the first line rolls on to the next without a pause in between. So, with this, we come to an end of this lecture. I hope students, you understood this poem well